Hey friends, there have been some recent developments come out about Guitar Center missing $45 million in bond payments earlier this month. And that they might possibly file bankruptcy next month. So this information came from a news company called The Fader, and they got their information off of Bloomberg and the New York Times. So Guitar Center is considering restructuring options, including bankruptcy, in the wake of $45 million in missed bond payments this month. They have amassed $1.3 billion in debt. A financial situation worsened by the virus and the lockdowns from earlier in the year. So even before then, if you'll remember back, Moody's downgraded their debt to junk status earlier in the year. And so they made some deals and restructured their debt earlier in the year to make good on their missed bond payments. So they're kind of back in the same situation, and so reportedly they could be going into bankruptcy in November. Now, basically, and I'm sure that most of you who are listening to like Brad the Guitologist and some of these other channels probably don't realize, but here's what a bond is. So let's say that you take out a credit card or you purchase a mortgage. You're buying a house and the bank issues you a mortgage. Now that bank doesn't have that much money just sitting in their coffers somewhere. They have a Chairman Powell print up all that money and issue it to you, and then they give it to you in the form of a mortgage or a credit card, and they take that debt and they sell it onto the bond market. Okay, so some investor buys the bond, and whenever you make a payment, that investor gets paid. They get paid whatever interest you're paying and plus the principal. So that's how they make their money back. So if an individual investor isn't buying it like an ETF or let's say a mutual fund or some other company, investment firm, they'll buy it. And if nobody else buys it, then the bank just kind of owns it. But yes, it's just like whenever you miss a credit card payment or a mortgage payment, it hurts your credit. It hurts your credit worthiness. And so that's what that whole downgraded by Moody's has to do with it, basically saying they have bad credit. So whenever something hits junk status, it's considered high risk. So an investor who may be looking for a high yield, looking for something that pays good money because they're lending to a high risk borrower, they may buy it if they think that the company is strong enough, but they may not. So that's kind of how that works. It's just the same as you borrowing money for whatever you're doing. But basically, what I'm trying to get at here is that this bankruptcy deal, it's not me personally, I don't see it as the doomsday scenario that a lot of other people are seeing it as. I'm seeing it as business as usual. What I could see happening is from Black Friday and the Cyber Monday sales, and even on throughout the rest of the year, you know, they sell enough to get their books looking better, negotiate down some of their debt, maybe get some of it forgiven, and next year they just kind of move on like nothing happened. Because here's a deal. Guitar Center is owned by a large investment firm called Aries Capital. So Guitar Center has a niche, this pivot in the market where they do something that their competitors either don't do or can't do. You see, they got multiple locations all across the U.S. It's not just a few like Sweetwater locations way out here where, you know, if you live close enough, you can go over there and shop, or Sam Ash or some of these others that rely mostly on online sales. Yes, Guitar Center has online sales presence, but they also have the physical location aspect. And of course, with all the changes going on this year from the virus, they're also making adjustments to where, you know, you don't have to go in the store. They can bring it out to you. And you don't have to take your risk on whether or not the FedEx person or the UPS person is going to get it to your house all in one piece. You know, you can just go pick it up at the store. Or you can just go over there and pick it up yourself. And in fact, I went over there today and they weren't quite as strict with the whole keeping a line outside thing as they were a few weeks ago. Like, I waited outside for like a moment and the door was open. I just walked on in, and they just made small talk, and it was like, oh, just look around, whatever you want to get. They really weren't making a big deal about a set amount of time being in there. Of course, if you needed certain things off of higher shelves, they had to help you out with that and all that stuff. But it seems like they're kind of relaxing and getting back to normal about some things. Of course, yeah, you had to wear your mask, but now with the what's going on in Europe, with the virus cases spiking up, that could kind of change things in a few weeks. Who knows? But I mean, for right now, it's almost like back to business as usual over at least ways my local Guitar Center. Oh, and there is another local mom and pop, just the other town over, that recently surfaced somebody that had sold off their store last year. It's since been reopened with a new owner, so I mean, I think that the market is gonna get better. It's just kind of a question of how we kind of adjust to living with this virus moving forward, especially the next year or so. So I don't think it's the doom and gloom stuff that you're probably hearing on some of the other channels. I think we're just kind of hitting a transitional period where we're going to have to kind of get used to some temporal changes in what we think is normal, but only time will tell. So I hope that this has been useful to anybody, and y'all have a happy holiday season. And until next time, see ya.